So I'm back again. The phone went dead. So let's get into the session. Why is it looking weird? Let's just wait. There we go. Let's get into the session. Hello, welcome. This is part 2 of 5 on how to love yourself. If you missed part 1, that is okay. You can still start here. Have a look through this video, and I recommend to go back and having a look at part 1 later on. But for now, while you're here, let's go into section 2. Wherever you are in the world watching this, whether it's day or night, no matter what part of the world or where you are, I trust that this video reaches you well. And thank you so much for stopping by to have a look at this video. If this is the first time you've seen this video or you've seen a video from me, if this is the first time we've had a discussion here, let me please introduce myself. So I'm a person who has so much passion for people. I have passion for education, personal growth, self-development, human development. I get true feelings of significance and connection through what I do as a life coach to help people overcome obstacles, overcome burdens, helping people to let go of the past so that they can propel forward into the future, helping people reach goals, helping people to break boundaries. And so by doing that, I get true significance and true connection. And that's why I'm here today, to share with you some powerful, epic information, especially if you are a person that this question resonates with when it comes to asking yourself, how do I fall in love? Or how do I love myself? So I've been on a personal journey of my own, and I've been on quite a personal discovery journey. When I was 25 and became a high school teacher, that is when I first started to look into human development. And then it wasn't until 2009 when I saw a life coach that I had a true deep interest in life coaching. So my name is Devlin Tiki. I am the founder of the Path Ahead coaching program, and I am a master success coach, life coach for men. And even though I'm a success life coach for men, the message I have today will definitely be relative for all of you out there watching today. And once again, welcome. Let's get straight into the session, part 2. So when you look at this question, or when people see the question, how do I love myself again? It will resonate with you on a different level depending on your belief system, depending on the current situation you are in, and depending on the sort of experiences or maybe trauma, maybe achievements that you have had. So I just want to recognize that for you right now, that this message will resonate with different people on different levels. I would like to share with you 4 quick examples of someone who might be asking that question on how do I fall in love with myself. So perhaps you've been in a relationship, and let me use the father or the husband or the man in the situation. And perhaps you've gone through a separation or a divorce, whether it was good or maybe nasty. Perhaps you've lost connection with your children and you've come out of that relationship with less self-worth. Maybe you've come out of the relationship thinking, why me? I'm useless. It's because of me. Whatever the messages are, whatever the meaning you're giving to yourself, if that is you. Perhaps you're a woman, and perhaps you've been in a long-term or short-term relationship where there was a lot of verbal abuse. And then from that verbal abuse where someone's been telling you, how useless you are, you're not good enough, don't know why we're together, you're always doing this, I hate you, and all those painful words that people can sometimes say to us. And what can happen with people is we wear that as an identity. We wear the verbal abuse and start to actually believe the words that we've been repetitively told over and over. And I do want to excuse myself using genders. I know it's just a generalization, and I know it can happen in both genders and either way. Perhaps you're a person who's lost love from a childhood trauma, and through growing up experiences you've had has made you go into your adolescent life, into your adult life, losing love for yourself. Or perhaps you're a survivor. Perhaps you're a recovered person where once upon a time you just didn't like yourself. You didn't like the person you saw in the mirror. You had fallen out of love with yourself to a stage where you now have good self-image, good self-identity, and you do love yourself. And I would say I definitely fit into that criteria. And I can say that because throughout a lot of my life, I actually grew up with a lot of anger, a lot of disconnection in my adolescence, early adult life, attaching myself to addiction. And what I can say is when I did learn to love myself, I learned to say yes to myself. I learned to develop my self-esteem and personal development. The way I started to see the world was totally different. I started to see true potential that I didn't see when I wasn't loving myself. I started saying yes to opportunities that I had started to grasp on after I said yes to myself, after I started to love myself. And so I just wanted to share that with you. You know, a lot of the unbelievable become believable. Some of the things I never dreamt of doing when I was a child, I've been able to do. Such as traveling around the world, traveling internationally for the last 25 years. But let's get into this topic. So today I am going to use with you one of the success principles to life. So I want you to repeat after me. Core. CRUST. And CRUD. 3 C words. Core, CRUD, CRUST. And let me share this model with you. It's quite exciting. I'm sure it will give a lot of people out there some realization on how you're feeling and why you're feeling the way you are feeling. You see, so a lot of us, we have a self-image, right? We have the self-image. I'm just going to readjust my phone. Excuse me a bit here. So we all have a self-image. It's our idea of who we are. Our self-image is our thoughts, our decisions, our behaviours, our beliefs. And everything we do is based on our self-image. Things we collect in life, the experiences we go through, make us think who we are, okay? So we think who we are based on experiences and challenges and also achievements that we've had. And we all act in accordance with our self-image all the time, every time we do something, all the time when we do something is based on our self-image. So those 3 words I just shared with you, core, CRUST, CRUD, CRUST. And I'm going to just show you a quick model, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about this model for you. Okay, so there's like 3 circles. You can see in the middle here is the core. Now the core is your true self. It's the core that you were born with, okay? So the core is where your wildest dreams sit. Your core is your true self. Okay, so when people are feeling like I'm just not myself or this just doesn't match, it's probably because it's not matching your core identity. Your core identity is different to your self-identity that I mentioned earlier. So your core is the aim we need to go to. On the outside of the core is what we call CRUD. Yeah, CRUD. So the CRUD is where a lot of the hurt sits. CRUD is where a lot of the pain sits from the experiences. So what have I got here? Don't worry about the writing, that's okay. Or you can take a screenshot later on, come back, take a screenshot and have a look. So CRUD is where the hurt and the pain sits, okay? We in our lives, throughout our walks in life, we use so much energy in the CRUD because that's where all the hurt and the pain is. And we spend so much time trying to cover up that CRUD energy. But the thing is, what we need to realize is the CRUD, which is where we spend a lot of energy, the CRUD area where a lot of the pain and the hurt sits. I don't know why I'm frowning, excuse me for frowning. And the thing is, if we don't acknowledge our hurt, if we don't acknowledge the CRUD where the hurt and the pain sits, we'll never get to our core. We'll never get to our core. Now the CRUST. Oh, the CRUST. The CRUST is who we all know, right? The CRUST, the outer circle here. The CRUST is what I call the fake person. It's the person we put out there in public. It's a mask that we start to wear. It's a disguise that we start to wear. Okay, so we don't get to be our true self because we're so worried about walking around in life covering up the CRUD with the CRUST. Because, boy, jingers, if anyone was to know the feelings we are having, if anyone was to know the pain, perhaps they would judge me. Perhaps I would be rejected. Perhaps they would think I'm not good enough. Perhaps they would think I'm not loved. So, when we are born, we're born with our core values. You know, from the age of 0 to 7, that's when we start building up our belief systems and our values. So some of the examples of how we might lose our core identity is perhaps when you're a child and you've had parents say, don't, stop that, what did I tell you? How many times do I need to tell you? Perhaps you got a smack on the bum because you tried to be adventurous and you tried to be curious about something. And this is not me having a dig at parents, because, you know, perhaps at parent school, adults could learn stuff like this. That language that adults use, whether it's teachers, sport coaches or parents, the language we use on children actually starts to shape the person or that child's beliefs and that child's self-identity. So when we're in our core identity, that's where we're adventurous. That's where we start looking for significance in a positive way, is when we're just starting to feel we're whole with ourselves and we're at peace with ourselves. I'm so sorry if people are writing comments. I can't see comments and I don't know how to look at my own live on another device, but I could learn that. But I'll have a look at any comments later on. If you are, I'll say hello. It's so good to have you here. And I am at the moment talking about living in our core identity. So once again, let me revise before I wrap this up. We have a self-identity, it's our self-image that we go out into the public with. And that self-image is our CRUST. The CRUST is our fake self. Because if anyone wants to see the CRUD, they'll see the pain and the judgment and all that stuff. But it's not until we can acknowledge the pain and acknowledge the hurt that's sitting in the CRUD area that we truly get to our core. This is part 205. I don't want to give too much away, or I doubt that I would run out of content. But I don't want to overload you or give you too much right now. But the objective of today's session was to help you to understand these 3 levels. To understand that whatever you're going through, you have every reason to feel that way. And that it only takes a decision. A decision in Latin is where you cut off from. Where you make a true decision. And a decision that Tony Robbins says, a true deep decision is where massive action is applied. Or else it's just a thought, right? So if you decide to change your life, change your way of thinking, it follows an action. So I wonder what action you could do so you can start acknowledging your hurt and your pain so you can get to your core identity. Core identity and pain. I'm just want to make sure if there's anything else I want to add in here. So it's a decision. So here's some examples. When we've been carrying around pain and hurt, and we've been needing to make some decisions, there's good decisions and there's bad decisions. It's only one or the other. Good, which is resourceful. It's good for you, it's good for others, it's good for the environment. And then there's unresourceful thinking. The good thinking here is I am loved, I love myself, I forgive myself, there's a way out of this. The unresourceful thinking that isn't good for you is I'm useless, I'm worthless, it's my fault, I'll never get out of this. So one way of being able to get into your core identity, one way of being able to develop more love for yourself is really checking in and start to decide what are you going to do to start thinking in a positive, good way. Perhaps change the way you're thinking. And I know it's not that easy, especially depending on the circumstance you are going through. Before I wrap this up, I just want to say that this is only one and it's only a smaller part of the bigger picture that can help you with your situation. That this isn't the only way and that this is just one of many ways that could help you to start living an ultimate life so that you can create the results that you desire. So that you can start seeing phenomenal results in all areas of your life. And all you need to do to start living extraordinary, living life on your terms, where you're getting stupendous amounts of great results. You're just living in a life of peace. You're walking through your day with connection and significance and love. It takes a decision. And I don't know what that decision is for you. Perhaps it's to look for help from someone. Perhaps it's just to change your mind, change the way you think. Perhaps it's to decide, you know what, I'm going to have a hot bath with scented candles, some nice soothing music. Perhaps there's something you love doing that you haven't done for a while. Maybe watching sports, going for a walk. Perhaps you could go for a run, start getting those endorphins and serotonin working through your body. Whatever it is, everybody, I trust you got a lot of value out of this. I look forward to delivering tomorrow's session, part 3 out of 5 on how do we love ourselves. Go out there, rock this world. This is Devlin from the Path Ahead coaching program, and rock out. Love you all. Enjoy, and God bless.